You to a kind of different version of the Managersim episodes, because this one is actually going to be done live as I'm recording this, because normally I record it and then move it over to YouTube and then post you guys all the links for you to watch it. But this time I'm going to actually go through Managersim live and learn how to use Mixer. I've been using Mixer quite frequently on my Xbox, playing Skyrim Torchlight the last few days, and I've noticed you can also use Mixer on the PC. And today is my PC day, so I'm doing most things on the PC and not the Xbox. And I'm going to give this a go and see what happens. I've had a couple of previous live streams in the last few minutes, and most of them been bug ridden because I'm learning how to do this. For instance, I was starting to go through the sorry about that outside noise. Someone's doing gardening next door, so bit of a noise. So yeah, I've been doing previous streams and the last couple of minutes on PC experimenting, and I was going through my Managersim football management game and looking at Elfsborg when I realised that you guys are only looking at my intro screen, so you weren't actually looking at the Managersim game, so I had to end that abruptly. So now I know what to do. I can actually move over to the game in a minute and go through what's the current status of the Elfsborg side. But my future about the Elfsborg saves is that we're now a well-established side, and I want to stay at Elfsborg for a couple more seasons, but soon the manager level that we're getting is getting quite high, that will need to eventually move over to a bigger side, and I can then go through the beginner series managing a top side, but not at the moment. I want to stick with Elfsborg. I want to see how far they can progress in Europe. Obviously not this season, because if you've been tuning to previous episodes, we actually got knocked out in the Toto Cup after just one second round, I think it was, but we were against some real tough opposition, Utrecht in Holland. Yes, into Toto Cup. This Managersim is a free, by the way. You can come and join the game anytime you want. If you want to know more about Managersim, look back at the previous episodes. That'll give you everything about the game. But the actual game structure is based on the early 2000s, so there's no Europa League, for instance. There is the old UEFA Cup and the Toto Cup. We've got the Champions League, that's here, and it's in 2 group stages, so that's good. And yeah, it's a really good little football management game. If you enjoy Football Manager series or Championship Manager, Premier Manager, all those glorious football management games around and has been around, then please come and join us on Managersim. You'll have great fun. If you want further information, then you can always contact me on my YouTube channel or even here on Mixer. Come and join some of these live streams. But today is, again, it's a kind of special day because we're using Mixer. This is actually live when I'm doing this, even though I'm the only one watching this at the moment. And I've got no headphones. I'm not using my headphones for this, and I'm using the mic. So, and touch wood, hopefully this internet will be stable. But let's crack on with it. And this is the mistake I did last time when I was doing last Mixer go. I had this. I didn't flick over to the Managersim screen. You only had the Donut Donny screen as you see now for the complete stream. So luckily I stopped. But 4 minutes in, let's head over to Managersim. So that's better. So let's go over to Elfsborg. Elfsborg again are currently in the Swedish league. On this, someone is mowing the lawn right next to me, so sorry if you can hear that. It's Saturday afternoon. Everyone likes going out gardening when the weather's quite decent. So anyway, Elfsborg are in the Swedish league. We're in the Italian game world, which is a much smaller game world. Managersim has many game worlds which you can join. I've chosen one of the smallest ones. We've got less human players as well. It's a good way of getting beginners into the game. And Elfsborg's first season I joined when they was near relegation, and we managed to go up to 7th, I think it was. 6th, and we went into the Intertoto Cup because it had 2-0, that means Intertoto. But we had a a pretty tough draw in the Intertoto. Yeah, we got into the second round and we were getting Utrecht, and even though we drew 1-1 at home, which was actually with the reserve side, we then lost 2-0 away, so we're out. As you can see here by the friendlies, our friendly form hasn't been good whatsoever, but we're against much bigger sides. But this is when I was playing mostly the youth sim. For instance, this home 5-0 defeat by West Ham. All these players here were my youths. The 16, 17-year-olds against Man United, it was my youths again, mostly my youths, just to get their stats up. The first team hasn't actually really played a game for quite a while. The first game will actually be the home division match, and the side looks good at the moment. They look much better health, much better state. I've still got far too many players, so I still need to get rid of players. That's been one of the problems I've had since the early episodes. So that's cool. I'll give you a look on the side how it's looking. This is the first team that's been highlighted at the moment. We've got a really good goalie. Our defence is strong. We've got a really good midfield, even though our star midfielder is actually injured at the moment. But we've got some really good mixture of youngsters here. We've got a very young side. I've kept a couple of players over 23 in just to give a bit more experience. So that's why our goalie's 26 and Van Binsberg's 25. There are two senior players. What I've done for Bowman's stats were rising really sharply, and I wanted to, he was going to be staying on the bench, which wasn't ideal, so I actually went in and changed his position, which you can do if you got enough points up here. You can get these points, by the way, by donating per month to the game, because again this game is free, but it's not free to host. Berhan, who hosts it, costs him money on the server, so if you can give him some donations, he'd be mostly grateful, and you get all these points as well. So I actually went in here. I can't actually do it, and I went into the interactive menu. Actually, I can do it on a different player, so I'm not going to change it. But you can go to player interaction here, and then you can go, I want you to play central or something, and then also be more offensive or be more defensive. If he's the defender, he can't be more defensive than defender, so that won't work. But offensive means you become a defensive midfielder instead of a defender. If you were a midfielder and you become more offensive, then you become an attacker, if that makes any sense. Again, I apologise for the background noise. Our next door neighbour has decided to mow the lawn as I'm doing this, so it's quite a bit of a noise for me. Hopefully you can't hear it too badly. But yes, the risk on that though is, there is a risk. When you click the player and you find out what his current rating is, like Iskemir rating is 7.6, 8.5. If you change his position, there's a chance that might go down, or it could even go up, but more likely to go down. So there's always a risk when you try to change a player's position. But it can work sometimes. It can work if you're really stuck for a position and there's no one on the transfer market, then do it. So anyway, that's what the current side looks like. We've free transferred a few players because again our squad size was too big. Nyman's gone on loan. You might have seen these already. These players have gone on loan. We've sold a couple players. I remember telling you guys that we've sold these two players. If you look on the transfer market, we've had no bids in. We've made no bids because I need to get rid of players. The last couple of ticks has just been me basically renewing contracts, and you'll get that all the time. Especially if you've got a very large team, you'll get a lot of players asking for contracts, and then you've got to decide when they the tip is, again, when they ask what wage they want, always lower it down a bit first, and they 9 out of 10 times will agree on that, except for the bigger players. The bigger players might actually increase their demands, so then you have to decide if you want to keep them or play the higher wages. Entirely up to you. You're the manager. So yeah, this is what's going on. Our pre-season hasn't been brilliant, but again, we're against all these big sides. We're meant to be losing, but it does mean that our stats are rising for our youngsters. Our first league game is actually going to be in 2 ticks time. Again, for those who are new, ticks are how the game progressed. There's 3 ticks a day, So that basically mean a week in time goes in one day, hence why when this game started in 2003 game time, by the way, and it's now 2008. I wasn't there from the start. I actually started, there you go, there's me. I started December 20th 2007 game time, and I've been with Elfsborg now for as long as the episodes have been, nearly a month in real time. So a month in real time has been on here, 9 months game time. So any of you maths people out there who are experts, you can work it out. So basically it's 3 ticks is basically a week a day. So for instance, next time you'll come back here, you'll probably see me already played our first game, and even the cup game. That's the cup. We've got another human manager on the side now, so back to Malmo again. So we can have great rivalry between Malmo and Elfsborg. That'll be great to see. Good. You can have good banter. You can send them messages. Hence, I've already chatted to the manager, wishing him luck and everything like that. Oh, we got a request. The tick's only just happened about an hour ago, so I will accept that because we haven't got many friendlies. And then I need to set the side. Oh, it's right down here. Wow. Get the reserves in. Okay, there you go. Always when you got the chance and you got this icon white, always go in and set your match lineup, just in case you're going to be away. Like for instance, I'm going to be out. I'm out of I won't be here tomorrow. I'm going to be out, so I won't be able to check on the side much tomorrow, but it's in safe hands because I put all these in already. So for instance, when Oribro, if you click on that, I've already set the main team, the tactic and the strategy for that one, and that's the same for all the others. Main there. Friendlies here, that's for the reserve side, so I don't tire my first team. And that's how you do it. So not much more to report really. Our striker, we put these guys under, remember this is their contract's due, so I've asked them for a new contract, except for Tabarez. He wants to leave, he's very unhappy, so he has been transfer listed. He's on a big club clause, which means I can't put such a high fee. As you can see there, he's valued at 2.4 million. I can only charge, put him on a list, I think 3 times as much, 6.1, but I put him as 5.2. Just get some money. And that's it. So we're in a good position for the season. I'm hoping to play quite a lot of the youngsters on the bench, and hopefully they develop. We've got a very young side. We've got, I think, is it 3 or 4 former youth players actually in the first team, and hopefully our strikers will score a lot of goals, especially Ekman. So there you go. So I'm going to say goodbye. Hopefully you have enjoyed this episode, and hopefully I'll catch you soon. So goodbye and talk to you soon.